Top of the morning, good afternoon and good evening, and hello to all the coaches out there. Dermot Buttley here, the creator and facilitator of the art and science of business building for coaches. Wanted to take a moment in beautiful Northern California and talk to you a little bit about the health of the healer. Now, this is something that never gets talked about in coaching, or at least I don't hear much about the health of the healer. Now, take this, I don't have tea today, so I'm just doing the water thing. Next time I'll bring tea out hiking. Should always have tea wherever you go. This bridge, have a look at it. It's a lot like coaching or coaches. It takes people from point A to point B. Now, if this bridge was falling apart, it would not take anyone anywhere. But this is a really sturdy bridge. Somebody has taken time to create this bridge, and it's been here for a very long time, and it will be here for a long time to come. Now, if this bridge wasn't here, I'd have to get down into that ravine and go up the other side and come out, and it would be a lot of work. So this bridge is a great metaphor for coaches and the health of the healer. We take people from point A to point B. That's where the word coach came from. In Ireland, we don't call buses buses, we call them coaches because they take people from point A to point B. Now, the health of the healer. I want to take a minute and talk about taking care of yourself as a coach before the session, during the session, and after the session. Now, when I have a coaching session, new coaches, they typically have 3 or 4 sessions in a day, and by the end of the day, they're haggard. And they look like they've been just drawn and quartered. And when I started coaching, I used to do a lot of coaching sessions during the day. Today, to take care of myself and to offer the best coaching that I can, I offer 1 2-hour session in the morning and 1 2-hour session in the afternoon. I have a break of about 2 hours. So if you're offering 1-hour sessions, max 3 sessions per day is enough, and make sure you have lots of space between the sessions. Now, the health of the healer before the session. The first thing that I always do is I make sure I go to the bathroom. So I'm not doing that during the session. I make sure that I'm well hydrated, and I take 10 minutes before the session to take care of myself. I do a little grounding exercise where I ground myself, I center myself. I always have my tea. And I take about 10 minutes of meditation. I look at the action steps or anything from the last session that need to be talked about, and I get very, very present before the session. Now, the health of the client. If the client is coming in and they're not grounded, I do the same grounding exercise for them. Now, health of the healer during the session. This is really important, coaches. When you're coaching, one of the questions that you can ask yourself is, am I relaxed? It's one of the presence and relaxation are the top 2 things in any coaching session. It's how the real impactful coaches do it. So ask yourself during the session, am I relaxed? Is there a part of am I trying too hard to impress the client? If you notice that, do I have a lot of thinking on what the client is talking about? Am I thinking, what technique should I use, instead of, am I relaxed? Because the silence will inform the next question. And when you're relaxed, wisdom has a great chance to inform you of what the next question is. So am I relaxed? Really important. Now, after the session, when you're finished with the session, you tell the client their homework is to do the recording, listen to the recording and any other action steps, and you've done with the session. You take your notes, you make sure to put them in a folder, you take a recording of the session, you put that in a folder, and you look through your notes. Maybe you sit for 5 minutes, and you just allow everything to settle. That's what I do after a session. Once I'm done with the notes, I put them away. I've put the recording in the Dropbox folder for the client, and I'm done. I sit and I just relax for 5 minutes. And I may ask myself, once I've settled, how was that session? What did I do well in that session? That's the health of the healer. What would I do differently next time? How could I make the experience even better for the client? Was I relaxed during the session? Did I drink water during the session? If it's a 2-hour session with a client, in an hour I have a timer, and when the timer goes off, I take a 10-minute break. I ask the client, take 10 minutes, go use the restaurant, grab some water, and come back. Health of the healer. And at the end of the session, I take 10 minutes. Sometimes I'm very hyped up after the session. Sometimes they're, really engaged. And so I'll take 5 or 10 minutes and I'll walk outside and I'll just allow my thinking to settle down. Really, really important, the health of the healer before the session, during the session, and after the session. And if you want to ask yourself an extra question, you can ask yourself something to the effect of, how do I take care of myself as a human being, as a coach, on a daily basis? What's 1 to 3 things that I do for the health of my body, my physical, my mental, my emotional state every day? How do I prepare for a session? Enjoy the questions, coaches, and until the next time, think big, have fun, stay curious. Cheers.